The Wii's been dead for years, right? Or so everyone thought. Apparently, Vblank Entertainment didn't get the memo. In 2020, 8 years after the Wii U showed up and 4 years deep into the Switch era, Brian Provinciano, the guy behind Vblank, looked at the old Nintendo's motion control and thought, you know what, I can cram an entire open-world crime game onto this thing. So here we are, talking about Shakedown Hawaii on the Wii. And look, this isn't just some lazy port. It's a technical flex, a collector's headache, and honestly, maybe the wildest way to play a game that makes fun of the industry it barely clings to. But before we dig into gameplay, you've got to hear how this thing exists at all. Most consoles are done when they're done. Nintendo pulls the plug, shuts down the disc plant, and moves on with life. But Shakedown Hawaii slipped in through a backdoor, or to be specific, a Nintendo of Europe backdoor. Nintendo of America had already scrapped their Wii disc pressing facilities, but Europe's operation was still kicking. That meant a tiny physical release, just 3,000 copies. If you lived in North America, good luck. Unless you modded your Wii for region-free play or decided to drop serious cash on eBay, you were out of options. This is one of the rarest Wii games you'll ever see, a release that happened right when everyone was getting excited about the PS5. It's like showing up to a SpaceX launch with a typewriter. It makes no sense, but honestly, you've got to respect the audacity. Now, you might be thinking, it's a pixel art game, of course it runs on the Wii. But it's not that simple. Shakedown Hawaii isn't just a simple retro throwback. It's a full-blown open world, stuffed with destructible environments, a surprisingly deep property management system, and more moving parts than you'd expect from something this old school. And the Wii version? It's wild how much they packed in. It handles both 50Hz and 60Hz, supports NTSC and PAL, and lets you use nearly any controller you can dig out of your closet. But the craziest bit is the loading times, or really the lack thereof. The developer put in some serious work so the whole game fits in the Wii's memory. Once you fire it up, that's it. No waiting around, zero load screens, just instant gameplay. We're living in the era of SSDs, and yet a 20-year-old console pulls this off with a spinning disc. Kinda mind-blowing. The game itself? It's absolutely a follow-up to Retro City Rampage, but with a sharper edge. You step into the shoes of a washed-up CEO whose business empire is tanking thanks to the internet. Your solution? Roam around the island, shaking down businesses one by one to rebuild your empire. It's part GTA chaos, part tongue-in-cheek capitalism sim. The game pokes fun at everything, from microtransactions and shady marketing schemes to subscription health insurance. Honestly, there's an odd poetry to playing a game about dying business models on a console whose own business model was dead years ago. It's clever meta-commentary at 480p, and funny enough, the Wii's fuzzy output makes the pixel art glow like an old CRT monitor, something the perfect HD ports just can't replicate. So is the Wii version the best way to play Shakedown Hawaii? Not really. You can grab it on Steam, Switch, even your phone. But is it the coolest? No question. This release is pure nostalgia, developers pouring their hearts into a platform long past its prime. They weren't chasing profits with only 3,000 copies. They were chasing the challenge and showing love for the hardware. If you can snag a copy, or if there's an old Wii gathering dust in your living room, you owe it to yourself to try this. It proves hardware limits are only as real as the limits of whoever's coding. Anyway, that's my take. Did you keep your Wii hooked up all these years? Or was it traded for last week's lunch? Drop your story in the comments. If you like this trip back to weird gaming history, hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations of forgotten corners.